Hey folks, welcome back to the Combo Classroom here on the Combo Class bonus channel. Today we're going to do a little extra lesson about how you could figure out if a random number you encountered was a prime number. Remember, prime numbers are the whole numbers that can only be divided cleanly by one or themselves. They don't have any other factors of whole numbers that could divide them. Like 7's prime, but 8 could be divided by 2's and stuff, so it's not. But what if I encountered a much bigger number? Let's say 667. How could I know whether that number was a prime number or not? Well, let's say I had a calculator and I was able to try dividing it by stuff to test stuff. What would be an efficient way to go about dividing it by some things? And how would I know when I had checked enough to verify if it was prime or not? Well, you might think I would have to divide this by every whole number up to itself. And once we'd tested every single one of those options, if none of them divided it without a remainder, then it would be a prime number. But there are some shortcuts we can take. Now, if this number has any other factors apart from 1 and itself, there's two possibilities. One is that there are factors that multiply by themselves to get it because it's a square number. Like if we had some number here that was a whole number but multiplied by itself got us 667, that would be a square number, and we would have located a factor at the square root of the number. In fact, we'll put that right here, square root of 667. And if there's not a square way of generating that number, any number that multiplies into that as a factor must come in a pair. It needs another number to multiply with to get that. And if I imagine a factor that was larger than the square root of the given number and wondered, can that multiply by anything else to get that? Well, this would have to be paired up with something smaller than the square root to get something there. If I multiplied anything larger than the square root by another thing larger than the square root, it would be bigger than the target number. And so any factor that is larger than the square root of a number must be paired up with another factor that's smaller than the square root of the number. Meaning that if we had checked all of the numbers for possible factors up to the square root of the number, and we hadn't found any, that would mean that there was nothing pairing up with anything bigger, and no bigger factors existed either. As a smaller example, if I had the number 8, and here's 1, and I wanted to know, does anything else multiply to make 8, making it not a prime number? Well, let's say the square root of 8's around there. Well, the other factor pair of two numbers that could multiply to get that is 2 times 4, and we do have one smaller than the square root and one larger than the square root. So if I were to check for any target number, all the numbers up to the square root and including the square root, just in case it was a square number, then I would have verified whether there were or weren't any factors on the whole stretch up to the number. So as a smaller example that is prime, if I was checking if 7 was prime, and I have the square root of 7 around there, once I had checked that 7 can't divide 2 and 3 and stuff, there's no way it could divide something larger without those having been paired up with something smaller that I had already checked. So we would only need to check for this given number all of the numbers between 2 and the square root of 667 for being possible things that could divide that. What does that leave us? That leaves us all the numbers between 2 and 25, because this is slightly higher than 25, but not quite 26 when we take the square root of 667. So if I were to check all the numbers from 2 through 25 as to do these divide 667 without a remainder, I would be set on checking its prime status. But I don't even need to check all of these numbers, because if this was able to divide 25, it also would have been able to divide 5. And if it was able to divide any of the other composites in this range, it would have also been able to divide some smaller prime that made up the composite within that range. So I only need to check the prime numbers between 2 and 25. And if none of those could divide 667, then no composite numbers in that range could divide it, and nothing larger could, because it would be missing its smaller factor pair to multiply together into the target number. So what are the primes between 2 and 25? You got 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 23. And that's all. Now, the first few are very easy to check for this number. It's not a multiple of 2, because in our base 10 system, it doesn't end in an even digit. So, not a multiple of that. 3, we can do our three-even test, where in our base 10 system, any three-even number has its digits add to a three-even number. These digits add up to 19, which is not a multiple of 3, meaning the number itself isn't a multiple of 3. And our base 10 system also makes multiples of 5 easy. Doesn't end in a 5 or a 0, so it's not a multiple of 5. So if I got out my calculator and tried dividing this by 7, 11, 13, 17, and 23, I would have fully checked whether that was a prime or not. And if I were to do that, we'd see 7 had a remainder, 11 also a remainder, couldn't cleanly divide it, 13, 17, and my calculator would tell me that if I divide 667 by 23, I do get 29. That number is 23 times 29. So it turns out we do have a factor pair, a number right under 25 at 23, paired up with the number slightly higher at 29 that multiply into that number, giving it other factors that aren't one in itself and making that not a prime. But if I had been checking a similar number, 661, and done a similar game here, but with 661's square root, that would still be between 25 and 26, giving us the same range of primes to check. But in that case, for 661, it wouldn't be able to divide 23, and also wouldn't have been able to divide the previous ones. And we would have then verified 661 is a prime, just by checking these numbers. So essentially, to find out if a given number is prime, your computer algorithm could check only the numbers that are prime numbers up to and including the square root of the number. And if none of those can divide it cleanly without a remainder, then it's a prime number. So thank you for joining me here in combo class. If you want your own experiments, you can pick some random 3 or 4 digit numbers and see if you can test them in a similar way. In any case, check out the cool links in the description here. Join us to chat on the Discord or subreddit, or check out that Patreon if you're extra awesome. We also got some cool full episodes that are even more elaborate and mathy than this thing on the main channel, so make sure you checked out the main Combo Class YouTube channel too. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.